Hey, I'm Connor Nielsen
And I'm Spencer Nielsen.
of CS Reviews. You know what I really love? A good movie.
And today's review is the latest gothic horror movie, The Woman in Black, starring Daniel Radcliff. Right off the set of Harry Potter.
The story of The Woman in Black follows a young attorney played by Daniel Radcliff named Arthur Kipps, who's on the brink of losing his job. So, in order to maintain it, he travels to a very remote village where he has to close the settlement on a dead widow's estate. And quickly, he begins seeing the ghostly figure of a woman in black. Is she the widow? Is she some ghost? Either way, he and Daly, a local man who owns, like, the only guy in the whole village who owns a car, they quickly start learning about the secrets of the house and of the widow, and sets up for a lot of great scares. What did you think of the movie?
Oh, I had a lot of fun with it. The most fun I had at a movie in years. We were finally in a big movie theater with a lot of people, and everyone was reacting to it. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was a pretty scary movie. Got me a couple of times, except for in the beginning, where there was a lot of jump scares. Jump scares are not scary. They may startle you, but when you're going to bed at night, you're not going to remember them.
Yeah. One thing I didn't really like about the movie was, yes, the jump scare bonanza just drove me crazy after a while. But I was still intrigued by the movie, even though the jump scares kept going. I'll get into that later. But I didn't really like that it was very traditional. I actually liked this, and I didn't like this, because this was one of its biggest strengths, but also probably one of its biggest weaknesses too. It's a very traditional story, and we already it takes a lot of very familiar plot elements that we know and love, that we were probably it's like all the ghost stories we heard around the fire as children, and puts it into the story. So we already kind of know some of the plot elements, and eventually there's about a 20-minute period in the movie where it's like, okay, come on, let's get on with it, and you can already see like for the next 20 minutes unraveling like that.
Well, enough what I didn't like about it. What I liked about it is Daniel Radcliffe does a very good performance. He performs a very good role as Arthur Kipps. He's very good. He has a lot of subtleties to him. He's not just Harry Potter without glasses. Although I did think they were stretching it just a little bit, saying that he had a 4-year-old kid. You know, he just doesn't look that old yet. But I thought Radcliffe did a great job. I thought that the atmosphere was great. There was hardly any blood in this movie, if any. I can't remember any gore. There was no language. It was just intense camera angles, intense atmosphere, intense tone. It was just a very intense movie. While taking its time, it was a patient and slow movie. It wasn't just jumping out at you.
Yeah, the cinematography and art direction of this movie is a triumph. It has a great gothic atmosphere and tone, which is what intrigued me for during the first half an hour or so, where it's just the jump scare bonanza. The way this movie was shot, and the art direction and direction in general was very, very impressive. So definitely check it out for that. And one thing I noticed while watching this movie was it didn't scare me that much, but I can definitely see why a lot of people in the audience were just scared. Those shouting teenage, middle school, whatever girls over in the corner shut up after the first half an hour, I tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was actually a pretty scary movie, and there was parts where I, had to go into safety mode, where I just do this, and then, if anything happens, it's like that, which is, once I think about it after reviewing it, isn't the best thing. You're best safe for just closing your eyes, but it kept me on edge. It was keeping me on edge. I was just like, what's gonna happen?
I was talking to someone, and I think this might be stretching a little too much, but he said it was one of the 5 scariest movies he's ever seen. Mainly because he knew nothing about the movie walking in, and I only saw the teaser trailer, so I was very pleasantly surprised by this movie.
I was too. I'd give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was a great, fun scare. I think it'd be a annual Halloween movie.
Yeah, I'd gladly buy this movie and watch it around the Halloween season time.
Yeah. What do you give it?
I give it a solid 8 out of 10. Very, very good. I felt that the way this movie is traditional is very good, because it's kind of plays the Star Wars Indiana Jones card, where it takes the familiar elements and kind of puts a modern twist on it, but it's still the same elements we've known before.
Yeah.
So there are parts where it's like, okay, I've seen this a million times, and I do think the jump scares were just, banging your head against a wall annoying in the first half an hour. But the cinematography and art direction, the performances, and the genuine scares this movie gets after the first half an hour, landslide take the movie back.
Yeah.
Definitely redeem it.
Also, I noticed how in the first act or so, it's kind of the same story as Nosferatu. It's, this guy he's in the real estate business, or he's going to settle a deed on a house, and he has to go to a very isolated location to do so. I don't know, just a similarity. And also, there's a scene where he gets to the house that's taken almost directly out of Halloween, but it wasn't exactly a copycat.
Yeah, like a nice little homage.
Yeah.
The movie is way scarier than Insidious. I'm sorry, I just thought Insidious was meh. This one, if you were disappointed by the haunted house meh fest of Insidious, this one is a lot more satisfying. When I saw that hammer was associated with the woman in black, I knew exactly what I was in for, and I got exactly what I wanted out of it. Yeah. That's all I have to say about the matter.
That's all I have to say.
Well, I'm Connor.
And I'm Spencer.
And we are signing out.